Hello everyone, so let's go through some Pokemon meme review. I've been waiting to do this for a very long time, so but I was not really sure where to get the memes from. I was a bit worried about copywriting because the memes are not created by me, it was created by a Facebook page, even though he doesn't really own the memes, but I asked for his permission for the meme review and I took this from his page. So let's go through the memes. Why is this picture for Aura Sphere on Bulbapedia? So Aura Sphere hitting that dog, it literally feels like a Coca-Cola being hitting your face, and that thing's a rock type, so Aura Sphere is going to do massive damage to that. And Aura Sphere is my favorite move. I first used Lucario in Pokemon X and Y, although I wasn't really sure why it is a steel type and it did not learn really good steel type moves. But Aura Sphere is really, really powerful. How old are you? When I was little, Pokemons didn't exist yet. So over here, the ball you see over here, I think it's from Pokemon Legends CA, which takes place in Sinnoh, like hundreds of years before. At that time, Pokeballs didn't really exist. So, if Drayden did not have any Pokeballs during his childhood, that means he must be over hundreds of years old. So it does not really make sense. My Onix was knocked out and now on my way to the Pokemon Center. So Onix is basically some rocks glued together. I'm not sure what really holds the rocks together, but yeah, it's a very popular meme. So in the Pokemon Center, I believe that they're going to attach all the rocks together. You shouldn't have Pokemon battles inside a house. Yeah, Sharon told that in Pokemon Black and White, but then there was this town I forgot. If you entered that house, immediately Cynthia spots you and starts a battle. And that battle gave a lot of people nightmares because they have not healed their Pokemon. So with a half-healthy Pokemon team, they had to battle the champion of Sinnoh, Cynthia. And during that time, fairy types did not exist, so battling that Spiritomb was like really, really difficult. As for me, I used Steel type to battle that Spiritomb because Steel types resist Dark and Ghost, so that gives you an advantage. And also it reminds me of the Lucian battle in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl and Platinum. If you do not have a Dark type or a Bug type in your team, you should use a Steel type to battle his Psychic types. Why not use Ghost types? We got Depression Tree, that thing. I believe the pollution of Galar turned Corsola into Cursola. Swirly Joe, it's quite cute. Forever Hugs. Meth Clefairy. Yeah, there's a rumor that that Gengar is basically a Clefairy who got cursed or something, or maybe a dead Clefairy, which is quite creepy. Fashion. Well, Mimikyu, I never got to use it, but I always wanted to use it because it has this ability which allows it to take its first hit without losing any health. Projectile children. Imagine using your children as weapons. Equivalent exchange and Satan. Okay, Giratina is definitely Satan because he rules this distortion world, which is like really, really scary. When I first played Platinum, that distortion world and the music really creeped me out. Began poking you in the stomach. Okay, Dialga is basically a huge steel blade poked inside you. This thing reminds me of Terminator, where I believe the T, when there was a phone call and the T-1000, I forget the name, was it T-1000? He disguised as John Connor's mother, and after the call he literally killed his dad using an extruding blade-like object coming from its hand. When you get roasted by the weakest dude in the squad, Yamcha. These Yamcha jokes will never ever end. Okay, one fairy taking down all the dragons. And I believe that Hide Dragon got hit the worst because Dark is weak to fairy, so it has like into 4 damage from Sylveon. Who is faster, head of Johto Legendary Trio, fast enough to walk on water, has own gauge, speed 85, or just a Diglett? I mean, it makes sense because Diglett is a mole, so it is supposed to know how to go around underground. I'm not sure how fast real life moles are underground, but Diglett is supposed to be fast. It's a ground type, it's a literal ground type. Zacian and Zamazenta. I mean, the sword makes sense, but what is that thing? What is that? But thinking about it, the sword, it is actually an extra object which is holding in its mouth. So I can think of all the jaw pain it's getting from holding a sword. As for this one, well, the shield is a part of its body, like an armored body, like an armadillo carrying its own armor. So this one is supposed to be stronger, I believe. Voilord weighs less than air. Seriously? Okay, Gyarados can learn fight. This is the most unsettling part. Like, I understand the story behind why it is called, why it is half flying type, but I never want to use it because I really don't want to have two similar types on my team. Diglett is taller underground. We'll never know what it looks like underground. Macargo is hotter than the sun. Well, if that is really the case, then the people who are living around its habitat are already toasted. Cosmum heavier than a truck. Yeah, and Lily carried it in its bag. Charizard shorter than a door. Well, it's not abnormal to have this lizard being quite short. What it matters is it's really, really powerful. Oh my god, shiny Reshiram should have been black and shiny Zekrom should have been white. Yeah, this looks really, really cool. Black and white. Hold up a second, we gotta wipe off some dirt of my dirt. Well, this meme doesn't really make sense because the Pokemon, the sand, what is his name? Palosand, is it? Sorry, again, I'm forgetting the names. Okay, let's just assume it's Palosand. I'm not sure if it is the evolution or the first version. The dirt you see on the screen, that's unwanted dirt. While the Sandygast, right? Yeah, while Sandygat has dirt which is part of his body, that is clean sand. Again, this meme does not make sense. I shouldn't have ordered that O from Demo. I'm not going to lie, Fiero looks really, really powerful, but after I remembered using it in Pokemon Fire Red Leaf Green, it was quite average. But when it learned Drill Peck, it dealt a lot of damage. Yeah, I'm a Pokemon antagonist. How do you know? Zubats. Haircuts. The haircuts are really good. Except for the Team Yell. I really hate that haircut from Team Yell. And yeah, they use Poison and Dark. Dark makes sense because they are evil. Poison, well, it also makes sense. Fashion is my passion. Well, Getsis and Team Flare, they have the best designs. The other two, nah. Pokemon playing Pokemon Black and White for the first time. Oh my gosh, a pig. Okay, let me tell you something, I once had a Tepic starter and I evolved Tepic and it turned into a fighting type. And it was really, really bad, so I had to replace it with Cobalion. Like one of the rare instances where I had to replace my starter with a more powerful Pokemon. There are people with many different faces in Nether Paradise, and yeah, they literally look the same. And I don't really blame the game creators because they have to save time and money, and it really doesn't matter how the evil team grunts of the employee look, as long as you are enjoying the Pokemon battle and leveling up your Pokemon. My parents said, AJ, you're the best thing in love. You too. Me, AJ, why aren't you real? Well, there were times I really wanted Pokemon to be real, but then I had to think realistically, and I was thinking of all the mini wars people will start with their neighbors using their Pokemon. And also food. Like, what do you want to eat? For me, the tastiest Pokemon out there is Cherubi. Very underrated and forgotten Pokemon. But yeah, I'm glad Pokemon isn't real. You need to live the reality. Ah, that's it. There's my little Cubone. Can't let you run around like that. You'll be wanting this skull now, suppose. Oh, okay, okay. So the Marowak took off its skull and gave it to Cubone, and all the blood came out of its head because it's a part of its body. And Cubone is traumatized. Yeah, actually, Cubone has a really sad story in Lavender Town. I guess you guys know about it. Slowbo used Trick Room, Speed, Dimensions Twisted. Deoxys used Giga Impact, it missed. Sweet chat, I'm fast now, I witnessed your death in every reality. So Deoxys is like one of the fastest Pokemon, but when you use Trick Room and the speed advantage gets flipped, so the slower Pokemon will be faster, while the faster Pokemon will be slower. But I never use Trick Room, honestly. I just rely on the powerful moves my Pokemon has. My sister found a belt lamp on eBay. I love it. Yeah, it looks really cool. Let us never forget the time where Jessie beat up a wild Pokemon, caught it herself. Yeah, I remember watching this episode, and Seaviper literally took off her hair, and her hair grew back normally in the next day. Gyarados is Hyper Beam. Yeah, all these powerful moves, especially the fire type moves, they literally hit the Pokemon and not the trainer. Many keep creating fake accounts to get 1 month free trials. Why not hunt for Grey Shiny? We have, oh, look at this cool rock I found. Good old pup. Is that Herdier? Is that great? Okay, I think it's talking about the goat on the top of its back. The coolest shiny. I never ever used a Metagross. I really want to use it, but I don't have the patience to raise Beldum with knowing only takedown. And Metagross is found really late in the game when I have all those powerful Pokemons already in my team, which I do not want to replace. Nothing matters, existence is pain. So cool, mysterious. Okay, is there a shiny fire type, or is there a shiny ice type? I'm not really sure. I forgot to turn off the oven. Yeah, makes sense. Alcremie, a food, Pokemon which is literally food. Grandpa can be contained. Yeah, Grandpa with a walking stick and a hat. Stylish chainsaw. Okay, this Vikavolt, I use that in Pokemon Sun and Moon. It's really, really powerful. But I had to wait till Blush Mountain until my Charjabug evolves into it, because it evolves only in a special magnetic field. Christmas decorations, but it's still October. I don't know. I don't celebrate Christmas. I'm not too many Christmas celebrations in my region, so I'm not sure what that really means. The mushrooms on my backs are my friends, and then when it evolves into Parasite, the mushroom takes control over that animal. And there's a theory that the actual insect is dead and the mushroom is controlling everything. And in real life, fungus sometimes control insects. It's very, very scary. Pokemon Sprites rank. Long time no see. Let's hug. Pokemon Sprites now. Oh, I don't know. So yeah, the Pokemon Sprites got less lively since Nintendo Switch came out. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching.